Hello, grade 8. So I am teacher Avon and I will be your teacher for this school year science. And I hope everybody is okay and staying safe in their household. And I will be teaching you today our topic, Newton's Law of Motion. And I hope everybody would listen and take down notes. So let's start. I'm starting this particular discussion with this question. Have you ever wondered why cars bounce backward every time they crash into each other? Or have you tried to observe skateboards so that the skateboard will move forward? You have to kick off the ground backward. So those questions, we will be tackling that one in our lesson because in this lesson, we will talk about how Newton's laws of motion explain how things move around us. And that is because of the person named Isaac Newton. So who was Isaac Newton? So everybody look at this picture here. He's very curly with a long this pointed nose and then thick brows here and then he's technically good looking, no? So who was Isaac Newton or Sir Isaac Newton? Sir Isaac Newton is the scientist who figured out that gravity is what stops us from flying off Earth and into space. So if without gravity, all of us would fly, like our laptops, our table will fly above without gravity. He is also famous for his three laws of motion. And these laws affect everything that moves around us because without these laws of motion, um, everything will be a havoc. No? So this time, we will be discussing the laws of motion by Sir Isaac Newton. So we have three laws of motion. Our topic this time is the first law. So the first law of motion is called the law of inertia. The second law is called the law of acceleration. And the third law is called the law of interaction. So there's a reason why things move the way they do. And it has to do with force. So what is a force? Force is a push or a pull of an object. So look at the picture. This little boy here is pushing this box. He is applying a force. Sa Bisaya, pa puwersa. And this other boy here is also pulling the box. He is also applying a force. So push and pull are opposite forces, but still they are a force or puwersa. So now let's look into the first law of motion, which is the law of inertia. That has something to do with inertia. So inertia is the tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged. And it's actually a fancy word referring to something that tends to move. Or let me say, an example is, let's say, in the old normal, all of us doesn't want to go to school. It's very hard for us to get out of bed. That is inertia. However, kung masuko na si mama and papa, and they ask you to go out of bed, mamwersa sila. So they will exert a force so that your inertia, that is having a hard time going out of bed and going to school in the morning, would actually be moving. So that's inertia. So now let's look into the first law of motion. It says there that an object that is at rest, when you say at rest, let's say when you're resting, when you go to bed, when you rest, it's not moving. So that object will continue to stay or remain at rest unless if somebody will move it. Let's say maghigda ka, you are resting. If you will move, then you will move. But if you will stay at rest, nothing will ever move you from your status. Next, any object that is moving will want to stay moving. until a force like gravity or wall stops it. So the first law of motion does not limit on the objects at rest or objects that are moving. It is actually two-phase. Duha siya ka side. Objects at rest, kanang wala galihok, o object that is moving. When you say object at rest, wala galihok, magsigira na siya dihag dili maglihok unless something works on it. Let's say for example, naay 20 si mama gibutang sa lamisa. No? Walay hangin, walay anything. Kanang 20, it will just stay on the table unless naay manguha na. That is why imong mama magyaw-yaw jud na if ever naay mawagta nga kwarta kay di gyud na mahitabo nga naay ungo manguha ng kwarta ha. No? Let's say for example, imong cellphone, gibili nimo sa lamisa, wala di na siya mawagtang kung way manghilabot ana. So that's the object at rest. It will continue to stay at rest unless something will move on it. And this part, which has an object that is moving, let's say sa electric fan, that object is continually moving around. That object will continue to move unless if palungon ng electric fan or magka-brown out. So that's the two sides of the law. So according to this first law of motion, an object wants to keep doing whatever it is doing, whether it is at rest or whether it is in motion. Okay? So let's look into this video so that you can actually see what I am trying to imply. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. So the object is in motion and the other object a while ago is the object at rest. Let's continue. Okay, that's the force and the other unbalanced force. It will just go up and up and up, and it will never stop unless something would stop it. That's the end. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Let's just do a recap. The first law of motion says that an object will continue to remain at rest or in uniform motion unless acted upon by an external unbalanced force. So that's the first law of motion. There you go, guys. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. And if you wanted to say something, message me and don't hesitate to um, send a feedback. Okay, thank you for listening and have a great day, everyone.